My name is Amy. I have to say that holding little Benjamin is a dream come true. My experience with Dr. Ehlers goes way back to when I was in college. I was explaining to a friend, saying I had terrible acne and some female issues, and she looked at me and she just said, "I think you need to go see Dr. Ehlers." And I went, and even on my very first visit, I knew that she was a place that I could rest and let her help me.
My doctor work with Amy was trying to regulate her menstrual cycles, her periods. She had a lot of colon issues to help her regulate the gut, which ended up being our issue for what one would call an infertility. We found that she had an abundant amount of yeast in her colon. It's commonly known as candida, but it can be other forms of yeast.
And I started on a health path that included taking the supplements, exercising. All of a sudden, my body began to get more and more healthy. And not only did those symptoms go away, but I felt so much better. I met a wonderful man, and I did have the privilege of marrying him. I live out of state, and I continue to come and see her because my body chemistry has changed over the years. And so I really have needed her help. I confided in her and said, that I really didn't know what my story was going to be in terms of being able to have a family, which I deeply wanted.
There was a possibility that she might not be able to have a child once she married because she had already known her hormones weren't balanced.
My female problems sort of roll up, and my cycle doesn't work the way that it should every month. And so when you want to have a family and you need for things to work on a timing, and if your body doesn't work on that timing, you don't know what your story is going to be. And that was my story. I learned I am allergic to gluten. I have a gluten intolerance.
And with heavy metal testing, she was very high in lead. Part of the success of Amy's hormone regulation came within months after the avoidance of gluten and us using products to pull lead out of her system.
Those things helped my system kind of bloom, and my body was able to do naturally what it needed to do in order to get pregnant. We were devastated when we lost our first son, David Lincoln, and it was probably the hardest thing that we've ever been through. But getting pregnant again was one of the most amazing things and gave us hope that we would be able to become the parents that we had wanted to be. The fact that I was able to get pregnant was a miracle, and then maintain the pregnancy and have a healthy baby was something that she took very, very seriously and made sure that she was checking in with me on a periodic basis, and that I was getting additional testing so that as I went through the pregnancy, that the needs in the different trimesters were being addressed, and there were different needs in the different trimesters.
So I co-treated her during that and able to support her body through the pregnancy while her medical physician was making sure hormones were good, baby was attached, and placenta was healthy during the pregnancy.
It was a very smooth pregnancy as a result. I had very few pregnancy symptoms as a result of all of the treatment that I was getting, but particularly the supplementation that I had through her. I went full term and was having a C-section, and then all of a sudden he said, "It's a boy." If I were to say what I had really hoped was, I had really hoped for a boy. Partly because his older brother passed away, I just always had wanted to have a boy.
One of my passions is many women that show here that are claimed to be infertile have babies, and Amy was that success case, birthing baby boy Benjamin.
When she held Benjamin, she received the work that she did for me and the care that she poured out for me.
So again, goes back to the point of a whole body care, not chasing the symptom of an irregular period, infertility, or low hormones.
I really truly believe today that if I hadn't been working with Dr. Ehlers, I wouldn't have any children. It's such a joy to be with him and see him grow and change, and such a dream come true.